Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and here's the verse of the day. We're going to be doing Philippians 4:13. So I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So, little side note, while this one's posted, I'm going to be taking a vacation for a couple days in Vegas until Thursday the 26th. So I'll be back then, and just going to take a little nice vacation, and gonna come back and I'll do some more verses a day and some more shorts and stuff, but I'll pre-post all these. But anyways, to the verse. So this is from Paul the Apostle's letter to the church at Philippi, and this is a pretty famous verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm sure a lot of us, whether religious or not, have heard this verse, and this gives me hope. Paul says earlier, he says, "Not that I speak in regard to need, for I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. I know how to be abased, I know how to be abound. Everywhere and in all things I have learned both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need." So Paul just talks about being content. So this verse, it's something like, I guess it gets taken out of context as being like a super triumphant for Christian verses. It's supposed, this is like a motto or something like, "Oh yeah, I can do anything. God will strengthen me. I can do all things." But this is more speaking to contentment, being content in suffering, being content in victory, being content at all times, that Jesus Christ has got you. That's the point of the verse. That's why Paul writes this. Paul is writing this from Roman imprisonment. He wrote most of his letters from prison. Most of his writings are from prison, I think. A lot of them, at least, are. And this one, currently, he was in prison. Later at the end of the verse, he says, "All the saints greet you, but especially those who are of Caesar's household." So, he saved some Roman Praetorian guards that were guarding him. He saved them and brought them to faith in Christ. But, Paul is a man who says in verse 10, "But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly that now at last your care for me has flourished again. Although you surely did care, but you lacked opportunity." So, talking about it, how he has seen that brothers care for him and sisters in Christ. Um, so, just being content. That's the motto of it all. So Paul says, "I have learned in whatever state I am to be content." This was how Paul could say that his thankfulness was not based upon his own need. Even though Paul was in need, he was content where he was at. So he learned contentment. It's not natural to us. We're not just born content. What's natural to mankind is always wanting more. We want better. We want more. That's why every kid wants the newest toy, the best toy. That's why every person, we want more money, we want more cars, we want a bigger house, we want everything. We don't know how to be content until we are in God, truthfully. So, I know how to be abased, I know how to abound. Paul reminds us that his contentment was not only theoretical, he actually lived this. Paul had been financially well off, and he had also been financially in need. So Paul had seen both sides of the coin. He talks about how to be full and be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. Paul had seen both sides of things. He had been poor, he had been rich, he had been imprisoned, he had been full, he had had food, he had not had food, everything. A lot of people haven't seen both sides. A lot of people have only seen one side of things, and Paul knew how to find that contentment in Christ through that. It's something that we all should have. We should trust that Jesus is going to get us where we need to go. Trust that God's going to get us where we need to go. This isn't some, hurrah, I can do everything. This is more trusting in God and being content what he's giving you, and knowing that, he could give you more. So, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This refers to Paul's ability to be content in all things. To achieve this contentment, he needed the strength of Jesus Christ. So we need Jesus' strength. We need to find the strength in his sacrifice, to find all of that, because that's what leads us to contentment. It's unnatural to us, and We need to find that through Jesus. So this isn't a triumphalist or super Christian mentality. Instead, this is, the strength of Jesus in Paul's life was evident in his ability to be content when he did suffer need. So he was content even when he was suffering, even when he was in prison, even when he was, wherever, getting beat up, getting, screamed at, whatever. He was content because he knew Jesus was there for him. He was content that Jesus strengthens him. And, finally, the verse right after, nevertheless, you have done well that you shared in my distress. This is in speaking about his ability to be content. Paul did not want to give the impression that the Philippians had somehow done something wrong in supporting Paul, but there was a real sense in which the giving of the Philippians was better for them than it was for Paul. Hence, you have done well. Godly giving actually does more good for the giver than for the one who receives. So, that's just a way to end it. But, the main message of today is just to be content. This verse gets taken out of context, but I know I need to be more content with my life. I have great things in my life that God has done to strengthen my life, to strengthen my standard of living, and I need to be content with that. I don't need to be, I need more money, I need a bigger place to live, I need more posters, I need more video games, I need more whatever. Be content in what God has given you. If you're struggling, go to Him, trust in Him, and find that contentment in the struggle. Find that beauty in the struggle. If you're just on top of the world, knock yourself down a little bit and be content with what you have. Don't try to go for more, because we need to know that we need to be content in what God's giving us. Whatever God's given us, trust in His strength and be content with it. So thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Peace.